friends, it's Margaret, and it is time to roast some books. Welcome to day 1 of the 12 Days of Margaret. It's a little, 12-day thing that starts on my birthday, aka today, and goes for 12 days, because I'm special and deserve that much attention. Also, it's a good way for me to get out all of my end-of-the-year stuff, and so it's half into the year, half get to know me, and today we will be roasting my favorite books. I put out a picture with all of my favorite books. I will put the picture here somewhere, and asked people to roast them, and they roasted me instead in some cases. It's fine, they were right. Since it's my birthday, and I do sort of have a birthday tradition of doing this video with a certain special guest, I figured why not have a little bit of extra help in roasting me, so if you wanna...
Who better to roast you than the most annoying person she knows? Me!
I hate to tell you this, but that is categorically not true!
You don't need to let the YouTube peoples know that.
I know many more annoying people. You were also, way there.
I need
Okay.
to scrunch with this framing. First off, we have from Brianna, coffee books and
bullet journals.
Yeah.
Coffee Books Bujo, I think, is Brianna's Twitter handle.
Why
Don't
is
ask
Twitter?
me why I haven't memorized it, because I tag her every day.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Responds, Cardan is a man-child, and Jude deserves better.
First off, it's Cardan. Okay, so Brianna's not wrong, but Cardan also deserves better because Jude is awful to him as well. Not quite as awful as Cardan is to her, because he definitely has all of the power in the first 2 books. But I just love the way their dynamic shifts when he finally realizes that, oh wait, the game is over. This is starting to be traumatic for her now. Cruel Prince is not for everyone. It's a very, very complex relationship that should not be modeled by anyone. It is very toxic in many ways, especially in the first 2 books. Especially in the first book, because they hate each other's guts in the first book.
Is it Quinn Joker? Is it as toxic
God,
as...
no. There is nothing as toxic as Harley and the Joker, because, at least in The Cruel Prince, they are both into how much they kind of fight with each other. But, and they grow out of that a little bit as they learn to be allies and stuff. But, yeah, Harley and the Joker is just awful. Why are you moving closer to the camera?
I moved forward so that you could, look at me better. Next one from Madison at Paperback Mary says, I love Uncle Rick, but he done effed up with his decision on Jason.
Mary's right. I'm not going to say what exactly Madison is talking about because it is a little spoilery and I don't know how this plays out in the final book. But that is not a decision I would have made, and I am slightly mad about it. I would have been madder if it happened to other characters, and the fact that it only happened to Jason doesn't bother me as much.
Oof.
Just, poor Jason.
Poor Jason, jeez.
We need to move a little bit back, because you are, being cut off. You're being cut off a little bit. Hold on. Yeah. We still have more room that I can go over.
Can I squeeze you out of the... Yeah, that's right. This video. Me.
This is my channel, sir. Go make your own YouTube channel. Actually, don't do that. You'd end up being more popular than I was.
Deja, our lovely friend that hopefully everyone on your channel knows Deja at this point.
I would hope so. Deja's on my channel every other week.
Says, it's the reading books, not in your age group for me. It's the white savior plot lines for me. Oh.
Okay.
Oof.
Response to the first one. Deja, I have watched your booktube videos. You can't come at me for reading YA, because you read it too. Listen. Good fiction can be found in any age category. Any of them. In fact, in many cases, the fiction is better in YA and middle grade than it is in adult, because they do not have as much room to bore their readers.
That's why every time I finish a Brandon Sanderson novel, I go through 3 Captain Underpants books. They're about the same.
Please don't roast him too badly, because he's the one that got me into Sanderson.
The regular ones. Oh, we got.
Okay, the white savior plot.
Yeah, white savior boys.
Okay, so the white savior plot lines. I'm trying to think. There are a few over that could be considered white savior plot lines, and you are right. That is a disease, and we need it to stop. All right, what is it?
We're getting on. This is Bucky Cyborg Brain. Christine reads 7.
That's Christine.
Has a couple of hot takes. First off. Leviathan Wakes is by and for bored white men, no matter what rehab the show was able to give it.
Okay, pause there. You're right. You are absolutely correct that these two authors wrote this book and were not as inclusive when it came to gender as they could have been in the first book. I will concede that point, that having both Jim and Miller as the points of view does get a little bit male. Especially Miller. Oh my god, he's insufferable.
But he's got a cool hat on the show.
Yeah. Which is a fedora.
Yeah, oh god. Milady. Look. There's a reason I avoid it, but
You wish they hadn't ruined fedoras for all men.
No, fedoras were still a bad hat. I just wish fedoras could be cool.
But what I will say is Leviathan Wakes is definitely, I think, the weakest of the two books when it comes to point of view, because I read Caliban's War. And that has Jim's point of view and then two female points of view, who are two of my favorite characters in the show. And there were very few moments in those points of view where I was like, oh yeah, this was definitely written by a dude. Like, Miller's point of view was just 100% of the time, this was written by this definitely a dude. I have to concede that point that yes, I highly recommend watching The Expanse, the show, first, so that you're attached to the characters, and then it makes it easier to get through Leviathan Wakes and get to where the good stuff starts happening, which is in good stuff happens in Leviathan Wakes, but Caliban's War and Abaddon's Gate, you can see they definitely took that criticism about there not being enough female characters and took it to heart, and they did, in my opinion, a good job. All right, who's next?
Mackenzie B. Rapp says.
That's Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is this the one with the Meryl Streep gift?
It is. Says, wow, Margaret, mostly white and cishet. Cishet. Oh, duh, of course. With a groundbreaking for Meryl Streep.
Okay. We'll give you the full, so you can have the full experience. Maybe. Get BJ out of there.
I mean,
there we go. It's not gonna. I would have to actually. I don't feel like focusing it, so it's fine. You again are not wrong. A lot of my favorites are from.
Sorry, I'm looking. I'm doing a bad job here. I should let you do your thing.
No, you said who says you see? Okay, so most of my favorites are from when I was in my early college days, like my favorites. And while I have been reading more diversely. So I have a lot more books that I can recommend, a lot more books that I enjoy. I do recognize that a lot of the ones that I'm most attached to right now are white and cis.
Why is the phone like this? I need to just change settings.
Oh, Bonnie?
Yeah, XX Bonnie says, 3 sets of mediocrely cruel prints. Pack it up, furry lover.
I mean, here's the thing about Carden. He's like 19. So I'm, in fact, not interested in him at all. In any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
He's more like my adopted son, so maybe he's a pet.
A pet?
Yeah. I forget that he has a tail all the time, and I prefer that existence. I don't know why couldn't he have had pointed ears? Was it necessary?
How humanonormative of you.
Anthronormative?
Probably. Yeah. Well,
because anthropomorphic is when you take a creature and you give it human.
Yeah, but anthro then is it's an anthropomorphized character, so.
There we go. So anthronormative.
But that would just be a fancy way of saying furry.
No, anthropomorphic is a fancy way of saying furry.
Yeah.
So anthronormative means that I don't like furries.
At Mayan Alashe?
It's Mayana Aleshe, I think. Mayo. It's Mayana.
Mayana Alashe. Says, I feel like if I wrote a white overhyped book, you'd give it 5 stars.
Mayana, if you wrote a book, I would give it 5 stars because you wrote it. Mm-hmm. Also, please, there are so many white overhyped books that I don't like. What's it called? Ernest Cline, Ready Player One. It's okay. Otherworld. Okay. Anything by Orson Scott Card. Miss me with that. I prefer no Orson Scott Card in my life. I tried him. It didn't work out for anyone.
Alright.
Let's see. Are there any? Oh yeah, Throne of Glass. Not a big, like, it's not my favorite Sarah J. Maas series. It's okay, but I'm still mad at it. So, like, yes and no. Also, who can call the High Society series overhyped? No one ever talks about that. It makes me sad. Or Gallagher Girls. I think I've met like 3 people who actually like a Gallagher Girls.
At Knox Diver says, how on earth could I ever roast you for loving Gallagher Girls?
I mean...
How do these dovetail so nicely?
I don't know, because I haven't been looking at what you're looking at. Unless...
Follow-up from Snowing in Texas. I was going to try, but I love that series so classic.
I give people so many options, and they're like, I can't roast you, you like Gallagher Girls. Maybe you're just unimaginative.
It's a good
I could
series,
totally
I
roast.
hear.
I could totally roast Gallagher Girls, because for number 1, it promotes unsafe cooking practices with bacon.
Interesting.
Not in whatever way you're thinking.
Huh. All right. At Lena Villaris says, I love Darker Shade of Magic and Conjuring of Light, but Gathering of Shadows is a boring Lilia Bard ego trip where she can do anything without consequences. I just wanted Kel and Reese.
First off, it's Lila.
It is.
It is Lila.
Did I say Leela?
Yes, you said Lilia.
Liliana,
So
yes.
A Gathering of Shadows, I will admit, is better on the second time around when you can anticipate it. But I will say, we don't tolerate Lila Bard hate on this channel, because most of the people that hate on Lila Bard also absolutely adore Kaz Brecker, who is basically the same character. Like, literally. The same character as Lila. Basically. They are both very stabby. They both don't really care about other people. Like, they have a handful of people that are their people, and everyone else can go to hell. They are both very morally ambiguous. I don't know.
Mostly had it right.
It does irk me that you'll have male characters. There are a lot of male characters that are similar to Lila or worse. And they don't get dragged for being out for themselves. But Lila does. Lila is out for number 1. I recognize that. I respect that. Does she always make the decisions that I would make? No, because I am a nicer person than Lila is. But also, if I had grown up like Lila, probably would not have been a nicer person. So, like... And technically there were consequences. She did almost die a couple of times in that book.
Almost. Atu Brody says, very diverse. I see white, off-white, eggshell, ivory.
And then if you go down Deja's, they're saying
I was gonna say the same thing, but we already did, in fact, have that comment from Deja, effectively.
So I recognize that the pictures that I put up were basically the equivalent of a diversity stock photo where you have like a whole bunch of white people and one black guy. I recognize that.
Tokenism, yay.
Yeah. Well, it's just mostly like I have only been diversifying what I read and paying attention to that for the last, like, I think 3 years. For like, since BookTube is the thing that really kind of made me or showed me that I needed to be paying attention to that. And so now I actively am going out, because you do a lot of the time, I'm actively going out and seeking out narratives and books by authors of color. But I've got 30 years of not doing that versus 3 years of doing that. So yeah, there's some catch up that needs to be played. We did move Scott Westerfeld off of the favorites shelf though.
Oh?
Yeah, we put Rebecca Roanhorse and Susan Dennard over there because it was time.
But Leviathan.
I know, but I couldn't fit those and Leviathan and Uglies, and they needed to stay together, and those are more important.
Fair enough. At Whitley Burks says, Daughter of Smoke and Bone was just an insta-love story that came to a complete halt to justify the insta-love by having a flashback lasting 1/4 of the book that was also just previous insta-love. And it wasn't even a good flashback. Love number 2 and 3, though.
As someone who loved book 1, that flashback was really like a pace. Like, it literally halted the entire freaking story. We needed to have been doing the flashbacks interspersed with the present storyline. I recognize that that's wrong. I don't care that it's insta-love, though.
My sis, she just needs that bit of romance.
No, I just thought, like, here's the thing. Insta-love can work. If you, like, just like, yeah. And I don't think it's actually insta-love. I think it's insta-lust. Two people see each other, they're attracted, they're like, okay, let's see where this goes, and then this where this goes.
I feel you.
But I don't really care that much about insta-love as long as it is done well and then developed on later, which it is developed on later. So anyways, I'm also a sucker for people who meet like once and they kind of click and are like, okay, yeah, that's it.
At Little Reed 1 says, the Cruel Prince is just a grown-up version of the boy in 2nd grade picking on a girl because he likes her and doesn't know how to show it, with higher stakes and glorifying abusive relationships.
That is not wrong, and it is wrong because it's not. How do I want to word this? So it is a boy in 2nd grade picking on a girl because he likes her, but he's picking on her because he doesn't want to like her. So he's trying to prove that he does not like her by being absolutely awful to her. And as I have said many times, the Cruel Prince would not work if they were not both absolutely awful to each other, and there wasn't change when they start having to ally with each other, and then when feelings start getting involved, again, change.
At Coffee Books Bujo says, High Society is just a Disney Channel original movie written down on paper. Which apparently isn't much of a roast because Jelly Fable responds with, wait, but this makes me want to read it.
So Allie Carter's books are the younger end of YA. They just are. The Gallagher Girls books start out really young because I think they start out when Cammy's like 15. And then they move to when she is 18. No, hold on, 18. They start when she's 15, because 15, 16, 17. But we see her from 15 to 18 in the books, and it works. I appreciate it for what it is. It's meant to be closer to middle grade than it is meant to be YA. So I understand that. I still freaking love it because I love the interplay between the characters, and it has the backshaws. So eat that, Brianna.
All right, Julie, at KCWB_C says, is that hat for baseball or because we are still stuck in our Greek gods phase? I'm totally still there. Laughy face.
Let's see. So, yeah, I have a New York Yankees hat because I got it for a video where I was sort of being Annabeth Chase. Like, I didn't put a blonde wig on or anything, but I used the hat to appear and disappear.
Alrighty then.
With some interesting editing.
Huh.
Yeah. I do, in fact, sometimes do creative ideas for my videos.
Following up, Snowing in Texas says, okay, Margaret, stop living in middle school. We get that you know all the Greek gods. It's time to move on.
See, that's nicer to me than is actually true because I do not know all of the Greek gods. I don't know if I could even name all of the 12 right now. Let's see, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, Hades is not one of the 12. Demeter. So we've got 4. Persephone. Wait, Persephone's not one of the 12. Hestia is not one of the 12. Ares, Hephaestus, Artemis, Apollo, Athena, Hermes, Dionysus. Who are we missing? Maybe Persephone is one of the 12?
Oh, it's coming out. It's coming out, boys and girls.
I don't know that this is going to have the
These
information that I need, actually. Nope. Because at one point, there is a picture of all 12 houses. I say that like this is, you know who's. All 12 cabins. Okay, so we have Zeus, Hera, Demeter, Athena, Artemis, Dionysus, Apollo, Hephaestus, Ares, Poseidon. I don't know who that is.
Pretty sure that's Juno, God of Two Faces.
No.
No?
Juno is Hera in Rome. before the 12th. Hold on.
Who's? But no, there's another one that's like got a two faces.
No, that's Janice.
Janice, yeah.
Aphrodite! Oh, God.
That's my favorite thing.
I'm so screwed! I am
A
never going
hack?
to be in love with anyone or have love go well because I
hack?
cannot remember Aphrodite.
All right, so we finally have one left. From I'll read that. Says, you truly read such underrated books, really going against the mainstream booktube culture. Off the shelves.
I mean, there are a couple of series up there that people don't, but let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they don't really talk about King Chronicles or Magnus Chase. That whole shelf is not one that's talked about a lot. So, I mean, yes and no. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I don't have a problem with liking books that are hyped. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's it.
Just, don't only read those books.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Do you have any thoughts on the books that I read? Since I guess, well, actually the tweet's right freaking there.
It's so many. I'm not a person that hates or roasts, but also the only thing, why so many editions of so many copies you have, just like again and again and again.
They're pretty.
Oh my goodness.
They're pretty.
Your poor husband will have to deal with you one day screaming, buy me more jewelry books. Buy me more shiny books.
I don't want any jewelry. I want books. That's what I want is books. The only jewelry I want for my husband is a ring. Buy me books. That's not that hard. I even have an Amazon wish list that he can use.
But yeah, you got books.
There is a lot of YA on there.
I mean,
but I don't mind it because YA is usually faster paced and tighter written than adult. Even sometimes I think Brandon Sanderson.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I wish I could have asked for bookshelves for Christmas. Just makes no sense to get a new bookshelf when I'm just gonna move them in a couple months, but it really irks me.
To what?
They don't match up.
To what? Oh, they don't match that.
You see that? You see how they don't match up?
Why don't you move them?
Because this one has 6 shelves and those two have 5. They are never going to match. I can't do that and still have good shelves. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully that was interesting and entertaining. That's the word. Hopefully that was entertaining. Thank you very much for helping me with this and helping my friends roast my favorite books.
That's what I'm here for. Your niche content specialist.
I mean, I'm not really that niche, so clearly, judging on my bookshelves.
That's true.
Anyways, you're gonna get covered by videos.
Hell yeah. The internet can only handle so much of this.
Thank you so much for watching. How do I end my videos? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, there will be videos right where his face is that you can watch if you enjoyed this video. You might like other things on my channel. Please make sure that you join me for the next 12 days. There will be other videos in this series. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!